a staggering 19 Grand Slam titles under his belt, including 5 Australian Open titles. Chung is ranked 58th in the world. The match comes as Korea is in the grips of the Changhyun fever, with the nation seeing a huge jump in sales of tennis goods. The semifinal begins at 5:30 p.m. Friday Korea time, with the winner facing Croatian Marin Cilic in Sunday's final. Chung is the youngest Grand Slam semifinalist in 8 years, and the lowest ranked Australian Open semifinalist in 14 years. The 21-year-old Korean has earned nearly 711,000 US dollars in prize money for reaching the semifinals, on top of some $40,000 for reaching the quarterfinals. These amount to more than 40% of his accumulated prize money before the Australian Open. If Chung wins the match with Federer, he will become the first Asian player to reach the men's finals in the Australian Open. Park Se-young, Arirang News.
US President Donald Trump is making his debut at Davos, during which he's expected to promote his America First agenda. He arrived in Switzerland on Thursday, a day ahead of his highly anticipated speech at the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. Our Noah Ram with the details.
President Trump tweeted before he left for Davos that he was going to tell the world how great America is. In an interview with CNBC upon his arrival, he also said he ultimately wants the US dollar to be strong, adding that recent remarks made by Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, in which he supported a weaker greenback, were misinterpreted.
I think they were taken out of context because I read his exact statement. I'll tell you where I stand, which ultimately is very important. Our country is becoming so economically strong again, and strong in other ways too, by the way, that the dollar is going to get stronger and stronger. And ultimately, I want to see a strong dollar.
Although a strong dollar is good for America's economy, a weaker greenback makes US exports more attractive. Finance officials from other nations criticized Mnuchin's comments as they believe Washington is trying to manipulate its currency to reduce trade deficits as part of Trump's nationalist agenda. The dollar, however, reversed its losses Thursday after Trump's remarks. Some world leaders attending the World Economic Forum have already expressed concerns over Trump's protectionist policies and have criticized his eagerness to cut trade ties with several countries, including South Korea. In a keynote speech, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the recent wave of protectionism was worrisome.
It is necessary that the big powers of the world have cooperative relations amongst them. It is necessary that the sense of competitiveness among the major nations of the world does not become a wall between them.
Overall, there's a sense Trump is not welcome at this year's World Economic Forum due to his negative tone towards global trade and even climate change. Trump's alleged derogatory remarks towards African nations have also led to many leaders in the continent refusing to meet with him. Beneath the criticism, though, a faint chorus of appreciation can be heard from the business elite, as Trump's economic policies, including corporate tax cuts, have helped to pad their wallets. Noaram, Arirang News.
A group of atomic scientists have moved the symbolic doomsday clock 30 seconds closer to midnight, which signifies the extinction of humankind due to nuclear war. It stands at 11:58 p.m. and it's the closest time to midnight since the end of the Cold War. Park Ji-won with more.
The so-called doomsday clock now points to 2 minutes to midnight, 11:58 p.m. Since 1953, it is the closest time to midnight, which signifies the symbolic annihilation of humankind due to nuclear war. Nuclear threats from North Korea and a lack of arms control negotiations, among other things, prompt a group of atomic scientists, which include 50 Nobel laureates, to move the clock 30 seconds closer to midnight.
We considered the ossified state of arms control negotiations and non-proliferation agreements, as well as new testing undertaken by North Korea, nuclear exercises built into Russia's military plans, and an enhanced commitment to nuclear weapons in Pakistan, India, and China.
The scientists also said the nuclear arsenals of all the major weapon states have been enhanced, and expressed concerns the Trump administration's nuclear posture review appears to lower the threshold for nuclear use. Dangers of a loss of trust in political institutions and in the media, as well as the threat posed by climate change, were other reasons behind the decision.
If governments are not acting to protect you as they should, you need to take the lead. You need to demand action. It is not yet midnight, and we have moved back from the brink in the past. Whether we do so in the future may be in your hands.
They also urged the international community to establish new set of regulations to penalize the misuse of information technology, undermining public trust, to reduce the possibility of a nuclear war by miscalculation or by accident. 박지원, 아리랑 뉴스.
Good afternoon. The most intense cold wave of the season is gripping South Korea. Many parts had more record-breaking temperatures this morning as cold air from Siberia struck Northeast Asia, including China and Japan, where people are shivering with the unseasonably cold conditions this winter. But the air quality is cleaner than ever. So this morning, daily low here in Seoul was at minus 17.5 degrees Celsius, and people further north saw readings going down to as low as nearly minus 30 degrees Celsius. On the note, here are the daily highs for the day. Seoul will only inch up to minus 10 degrees Celsius this afternoon. Daejeon will get up to minus 6 degrees Celsius this afternoon, so be sure to bundle up again. Starting tomorrow, at least we won't have highs of around minus 10 degrees Celsius here in Seoul, and things will ease, but another cold snap will strike early February. With that, let's take a look at the international weather for viewers around the world. While many parts in South Korea will be colder than Montreal or Moscow on this Friday, most cities in North Korea will have even colder temperatures than the south. And as for the rest of Asia, the cold snap will continue for most Northeast Asia countries, so dress warmly. Meanwhile, those of you in Perth will see winds picking up in the afternoon under cloudy skies today, and the rest of Australia Day weekend is looking cloudy on Saturday and sunny on Sunday. Heading to North America, it appears Montreal's weather is going to get more extreme than ever before, so be prepared. As for South America, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro will have a wet day along with scattered thunderstorms at times. Taking you to Europe, Rome and Madrid will be under plenty of sunshine with mild highs at 17 degrees Celsius. Lastly, to Africa, Cairo will have a rainy Friday. And that's all the weather update for now.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it for now as well. I'm Mark Broom. Have a great rest of your Friday, and thank you as always for watching. Until next time, goodbye.